$100,000. First place finisher, number 1 in point.
Hey, fire out here, can't sauce.
So welcome to video number 4. We're over here back at Full Lock Automotive. I say we're back, but I'm back. Ernie and them have been here busting ass for days straight, trying to get the Z ready. But we did get a good gift in, a bunch of goodies from Radium. It's a long-term partner that we've been working with for like 4 years now. They make nothing but the best fuel system components that you could ever run. So we're happy to be partnered back with them.
Of course, I forgot to record the daggum thing, but it would have been a very long, boring video. But I got the fuel cell cage all TIG welded up, built. That's pretty much where she's gonna sit. I'm gonna have to massage the floor a little bit. Right there, there's a little hump. I'll cut that out. That won't be a big deal. And what I'll probably end up doing is taking some of this square tube and going from here to here on each side. Once I get it all squared up and drop down where I want it, and on this side I may just physically actually just weld it straight to this roll cage reinforcement bar here after I cap that hole right there. Obviously that's where the old fuel lines used to come up in this thing, but that's pretty much where it's gonna sit. As it turns out, the MA Motorsports quick change subframe makes the diff actually sit significantly higher in the chassis, which I kind of like because it keeps all your driveline angles happy. So I had to cut all this out. And then if you come around here to the side, because we have relocated upper control arms, or we're going to, don't mind this, I still got to cut this out. My control arm's gonna get there, it's touching the body right there. Well, I guess I should come up for y'all to see it, but it's touching the body there. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do here is I may just go ahead and get this figured out where I'm gonna leave it, and then I'll just have to build a flange all the way around, and I'm gonna cut this entire floor out, and I'm just gonna build a brand new floor from scratch. As you can see, things escalated quite quickly. Don't mind that it's all rough cut. Obviously, I'll have to make it straight and purdy later. And then I've got to take these old things out because I won't be running those anymore. So I'll just take that out and get it out of the way. On again.
Wonderful. Amazing. What a Friday.
Literally just take a picture of that NFT. Boom, I've got it.
Your 240 is an NFT.
Non-fungible
token. It's something you can trade for currency.
That is correct.
Definitely looks a lot different. But yeah, I mean, last time you didn't even have this side done. Everything was bare naked. So take it away.
And we were driving on the
Well,
way
it's
to
cold.
Ohio,
I can tell you that.
and, like, get out of the car and run.
But what we've got done now is I ended up test fitting the MA Motorsports subframe in there, and the diff actually sunk up into the floor quite a bit. So I had to cut all that out. So I got my radiator set here. Let's pull that out real quick. Set it off to the side. Got the fan shroud built. Going to be running 2 SPAL 14-inch brushless. Like I said, the diff came way up into here, and our relocated control arms came way up into the floor. So instead of cutting a bunch of holes, we just raised the floor so it didn't look stupid. But then this part just looked bad because it's all factory, and there used to be a tube that went here and it just looked bad. So I just made that whole piece new. Gonna make this the new floor for basically the fan shrouding is gonna come to that, and it's gonna be visible, so it had to look good. But if you look here, you'll be able to see actually why I had to cut the floor out. Yo, what's up with all them bangs? Oh my God! But the diff came way up. That's the floor, original floor. So you can see the height is the problem. And then these also hit the floor here. But that's how that goes. Also got built the shroud, or built my ledge for all this to mount to. Got the radium fuel cell in there and mounted permanently. It does come out. It clears this bar right here with about that much clearance. So you have to come out at the exact right angle or it does not come out. But it does fit. Ended up having to make a cage for it because radium was out. I got my the bar that comes across this factory. I went ahead and capped those last night. Put a couple welding points on here for my upper structure that's going to hold it. And then these are actually going to mount here. And then this will mount to this tube right here. So whenever I build this, all that'll go in and bolt through it. So if he stuffs this thing into a wall, I can just rebuild this upper structure without having to rebuild the whole back of the car, which is preferable. That's pretty much where we're at. There's lots and lots of hours of grinding, sanding, removing, hiding. So it makes it look like you haven't done much, but you've worked on it for about 2 weeks straight. So that's frustrating. But it's starting to look like something. You start putting nice parts on it, you feel a little bit better at the end of the day. All right, so we're gonna teach Alec a little bit. We have the Radium 10-gallon fuel cell. It has the built-in FCST, which is fuel cell surge tank, basically. It makes it to where we have a single lift pump and then 2 high-pressure pumps that actually feed the motor. And also from Radium, we're gonna be running this fuel pressure regulator. It's a pretty neat setup. It also has a fuel damper on it. So while those injectors and big old injectors are just a pulsing, this will actually clean the fuel up, like the source, make it to where you're not aerating your fuel, and also it kind of keeps it a little bit cooler because it's not having all that movement. Something else we're going to be running is the Radium expansion tank. It also has the built-in swirl pot. And on our setups in particular, I like to run, since they're back here, I'll actually run the steam port to this, and then I'll run that back to the suction side on the water pump. And I mean, we dropped 10 degrees in the S14 just doing that. They actually didn't even have this utilized originally, which was unusual. The thing that he was trying to describe earlier, this is a heat exchanger. Then your fuel filter actually slides in there. These are 2 separate pieces. And this extracts heat from your fuel, and this cleans your fuel so your injectors don't get all unhappy and clogged, because that's not a good time. Ask Nate Hamilton. But basically, this is a pretty trick piece. I haven't actually used one before. This is the first time I'm having one in my hands. So I'm curious, once we get this car running, I'm actually going to put my thermo gun on it on each side, and I'm going to measure the temperature difference from in to out on the fuel. So that should be pretty interesting. Other things we got going on, what he was trying to explain is with this Radium jug, not only is it aesthetically pleasing, it actually has a handle here for you to pour your fuel easier. If you look here at the top, it has the different types of fuel. So you just move this plug to whichever one of these you're gonna have in it. And you don't have to put tape or right on your jug or anything ugly. And then you got other little trick design features, like they have the Radium logo built into the cap. And that is super nice, and just little detail stuff that I like to see that maybe not everybody else will. Other things we're gonna be running, we'll also have the Radium fuel cell vent kit. I'll be running the Radium fill thing. This is gonna go into the quarter panel or quarter window over there. It basically just allows me to remote fill, which is why we have this neck on here instead of the actual twist on that they normally have. Which I'm pretty excited to have all this Radium. Radium makes the best stuff. I'm running Radium stuff on my personal S14. I really like the Radium stuff. And they even send you a really nice wrench so you can tighten up your fuel neck, which is super nice, because this is not a lot of people have this. A lot of people buy this, and then you end up using like an adjustable wrench or a set of Nipix pliers, and to tighten that, and you scratch it, and then you got to bust out the Milwaukee Mark Saw, not a red one, but and then touch it up to where it doesn't have a bunch of scratches in it. But really happy to have Radium on board. They make top-notch stuff. Not only does it work well, it looks good, which is also as important. You have to look good going fast. You can't just be fast.
Who said anything about coming down? Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Well, hey, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed every second of making it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Do us all a good one and do it for us, okay? I hope you guys stay frosty as always.
Hey, Mick.